I guess I'll just go live. I feel a lot of sorts because lives are usually on Monday, and I didn't. So I don't know what I'm supposed to do. So yeah, just a random live. Looks like we already have Will Carey's here, Celine Driver's here, um, and that's it. No, there's like 7 people here. So Tim's here. I figured there's so many other like events going on. So there was, most of the stuff's actually happening like tomorrow, but a lot of these people are already getting together today. So there's the Kansas City meetup, which Tim is actually lives in Kansas City. He'll probably be going to that tomorrow, I think. But those guys are all together right now. They're at like a barbecue place, and then there's a get together tomorrow, I think, down in Kokomo, Indiana, at Palmer's Jewelry. That's a few micro brands there, and then who knows? It's just that time of year where so people are meeting up and everything. So pretty cool, fun stuff happening. Yeah, a lot of us, normal people can't just take off and and go do things. So I figured I'd go live and hang out with you guys for a little bit. Dane says happy Hanukkah. Random Rob and the rest of you fine folks. Thank you, Dane. Happy Hanukkah to you as well. Fedora Gent checking in from the Bay Area. Awesome. Hopefully I'll be able to get out to the Bay Area this spring at the Warner One windup. Michael Desire 68 Frogman YouTube channel says, "Hey Rob, can I join with Brandy?" Absolutely. Let's see. Freedom Van says, "What's up, Rob? Haven't been around for a while. Glad to join you tonight." That's awesome. Thanks for joining. Just reading comments here, guys. Chris YZ80's checking in. I know he's nearly depleted his reserves of whiskey. I'm sure he's got other things he can sip on if he wants, but he's checking in from the East Coast. Fedora Gent's leaving for LA tomorrow. See, Brendan got some eggnog with brandy. Never tried that. Actually, I haven't had eggnog in a long time. I used to, when I was younger, man, I used to tear eggnog up and then maybe put some like spiced rum in or something like that. But yeah, not anymore. Oh, Fedora Gent's going to see my good friend Mimo. I can't. Why is it's blocking me? Like that's way down there. I gotta like rearrange that. It's like fighting for it. Let's see. Hobby's sipping on some rare breed. I have not tried that. Actually, I'm about to uncork a new bottle of something I've never tried. Let's see. Freedom Van says my is currently Old Forester 1920. I just bought some 1910, I think. I haven't tried it yet. So Tim says just got back from Vegas late last night. Let's see. I don't know if I can pronounce this. Baddock 2100 checking in from Denmark. So I am going to open up, like I said, I've never tried it. It's Woodford Reserve Double Oaked. Now, I typically do enjoy finished whiskeys or bourbons, rather. And this one's definitely that. It's made and then they put it back into another oak. Nice pop on the cork. Probably not best to just smell the bottle. I'll pour a little bit. Double oaked is great. Yes. Let's see. Chrono Craze checking in. He says, watching what I can of your stream while waiting for food at a Korean restaurant. Nice. Excellent. Thanks for joining us. Definitely smells. It smells almost overly sweet. Oh, that's good. That's delicious. it's a low proof. It's only 90.4 proof, so 45.2% alcohol. But I tend to do prefer at this stage the lower proof. Like even this Eagle Rare is 90 proof. So a lot of the stuff I prefer is a lower proof. I'll drink the higher proof stuff, but I like to warm up at least with the lower proof. Let's see. Bean Boys here, Y-Town. Yeah, Bean Boys checking in from Pennsylvania. Y-Town 4 is checking in with an orange cat. You gotta be careful of those orange cats. I've been watching some videos on those. Maybe not that one, because that's just like solid orange, but like the tiger stripe orange ones, I guess they're pretty unpredictable. Will Carey's hitting on me. Thank you very much. The beard and cut looks great. So I'm like small town USA, and like I talked to my barber, like we text and stuff. And I stopped in the other day, like Wednesday, towards the end of the day, like right when I get out of work, and he was stacked deep. He runs the shop solo, so like he was stacked deep, and I like you do the math on how many guys are waiting and what time it was, and I'm like, man, Nick, I'll come back another time. He's like, nope, come back at 5. He closes at 5, and I'm like, all right, I'll come back at 5. So I come back at 5, and he was just finishing up a guy and got me right in, and yeah, Nick's awesome. So Nick, he took care of me, Nick the barber, just for the haircut. The beard, literally all you have to do is nothing. And most men, the hair just comes out, like it just happens. I don't know. It's really weird. Maybe the worn and wound laser tag one. I think I'll have to reach back out to him. I've been like intermittently talking to. I feel like I got to go like this over that bar. Been talking to worn and wound about that, and they're busy. I'm sure they're probably crazy busy this time of year. So I'll reach back out to them. I'll probably get it in to video it. The update on the Notice Random Rob Deep limited edition is those guys are busy. They're actually doing a thing this weekend, so I'll probably catch up with Wes and Cullen the beginning of next week. Look for a pre-order on. Yeah, I need a booster seat. You know what? I can actually raise this. I think the seat. I have this fancy chair. I paid like $500 for it. Yeah, there's a lever here. I've never raised it. I don't know how to raise it. Maybe it's all the way up. I'm gonna hurt myself trying to raise that thing. So it does. I think it goes up a little bit higher. Maybe I'm up all the way. But we'll probably do a pre-order on that watch. Like it's not pneumatic. This chair is a shoot. Who makes this? It starts with a V. They're handmade in, I think, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, or somewhere in Wisconsin. It might not be Milwaukee. It might be north of that. Oh, it's called Viper. They were originally made for detailer, like car detailers. They are spectacular chairs. And if you're on like a nice solid floor, you can just like push off with this thing and you can glide for probably 100 yards, no problem. So it's a great seat, and it's really made it so I can work in the studio much longer. It's a very high quality seat. Highly recommend them. But they're legit expensive. So, but worth it. Let's see. Jolly Time says, how much are haircuts in small town America? I think Nick charges, I want to say he just raised his price to like $16. I think it's 16. I'm a bit of a big tipper though. So typically, in an environment where I do tip, I mean, you don't need to know this, but like if I get really good service, basically I tip whatever the bill is, essentially. So, see, Will says, want your opinion on the Zodiac rowing blazers. I think most of the Zodiac watches are pretty cool. I do like the rowing blazer collaborations with a lot of watch brands too, but for some reason, I'm not feeling the vibe on that one. I don't know why. Da, 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 da. Oh my god, Michael, I'll send you the link. 100%. Like you, it's a game changer. I mean, it is so heavy duty. It's like the last chair you'll ever buy. It'll last you a lifetime. It's excellent. Let's see here. I used to be on that level, Chris. Like, and maybe I'll get there again. He says he cuts his own hair. Looks like hell, but I wear a hat all the time anyway. I legit used to do that. I used to like go months and just it would grow out, and then I'd have my wife just basically just totally clipper it, and then I just wear a hat until it grew out, and then trim it a little bit. I don't know, whatever. Like, because for most of us guys, we don't really give a shit. Like, you just get it off my ears, sort of thing, But what do we got here? Oh, it's got a nice. Now that I let it air out a little bit, it's got a nice little note to it. Just got in from work, finishing off a bottle of Bell's and wearing a super squally. Your speech isn't slurred enough, needs more scotch. Man, I haven't had scotch in a long time. MM10 is here. I started cutting. I got to read some of these comments. Chris says, I started cutting my own hair during the pandemic. Never got good at it. Yeah. Yep. I was on that level. I mean, maybe she's actually good at it. I mean, my wife was probably adequate at it. Ken Spear checking in from Pittsburgh. Beanboy says, I need more tea. Save yourself for January 6th. You know what? I quit drinking, so I'm not even really drinking right now. Or, hold on a second. After this one. That's it. I stopped drinking until I pick it up again. So, yeah, no, I mean, on that trip, it's going to be a little more mellow. I'm not going to get carried away or anything. Got to pace myself. I'm learning to not learning to enjoy it, I guess. Let's see. Oh yeah. You're evaluating options for January 6th. Kind of. I actually have a couple of bottles of Blanton's, and I was talking to Wes at Notice, and he loves bourbon. So I was like half tempted to mail a bottle of Blanton's out to him for like any of the enthusiasts. Maybe like we can meet up as an after party. There's always an after party. It's not really a party. We just chill out, but like we could enjoy that a bottle of Blanton or something. But honestly, I think there's going to be liquor stores out there, so we'll just go find a place, and if you got to pay a couple $100 for a bottle, then it is what it is. John, what's on January 6th? January 6th, I'm not doing it necessarily, but it's a collaboration with Notice Watch. It's the launch or the release of my Random Rob Deep model. It's the orange dial with the brushed case. But that get together is primarily for the people that have actually purchased the watch. So it's going to be pretty intimate. And the pre-order is going to be soon. But if you live in the area, in the Long Beach area in California, or are willing to commute, if you're within distance of commuting, and you purchase one of those watches, then I'm going to get you that information. There's going to be an RSVP page that you can, get that information. So if you're out in that area, John, and in Long Beach, California, or willing to go, because some people are flying in. I mean, I'm flying in from Michigan, so but I probably should. It's like partly my watch too. So Aaron's watch is chiming in from Arizona. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, you know what though? Fedora John, what I've learned is part of the fun is finding the spots. You know what I mean? Finding the spots. No matter where you go in the United States, there's always going to be a spot. So, and you might not get it at state minimums or at retail or whatever, but you might be able to pay a slight premium, but you might be able to have access to it because there's a lot of these bourbons, if we're going to talk bourbon, that they're difficult to get, I guess. I'm not used to that, but it makes sense. There's like allocations. We hear allocations and we think like luxury watches, right? But there's allocations of, I mean, even the Eagle Rare. There's like in a lot of places these are allocated bottles, which is I'm learning this now. It's like ridiculous. When I was drinking Eagle Rare years ago, before 2018 or whenever, even before that, 2015. I don't even know when I started drinking that, but you just walked in and bought it. It was like $30 a bottle. So Kicks to the Head is in Michigan as well. I'll probably get around. I don't know where you're at in Michigan. I'm kind of up near Traverse City, but if you're up here, then absolutely we should meet up. But even if you're in Southeast Michigan or something like that, I'll probably get down that way again. Oh my God, Bean Boy. That reminds me. That's a perfect segue or story. Their liquor store in Chinatown, DC was epic. 100% blew my mind. I was so impressed. Actually, YZ80 was there too. A bunch of you guys went in there with me. And it was right across the street, basically, from the hotel. And I think it was straight up called Chinatown Liquor, I think is what it was called. And it was a small mom and pop place. They were Chinese descent or something. They're probably American at that point, but clearly with Asian background. But it was like almost like the smallest bodega you could ever think of. And you walked in, very cringy looking on the outside, but you walked in, and it was like there wasn't a millimeter wasted in that place. So it was like absolutely packed. And you go in there and you talk to him, and you're like, "Hey, do you have this?" And he's like, "Yes, I do." Like literally everything you mentioned, regardless of whatever kind of liquor it was, they had it. They absolutely had it. It was bonkers. So, we didn't go nuts there. I think we picked up a couple bottles of Angel's Envy and a couple bottles of Screwball, and we just went and had a good time. Tennessee Mike dropping some hints. He says, just added the 115th founder member. We only have 150 spots. 115 are taken. And actually, it's probably more like 120 at this point because I know a couple things. And then 10, like 10 others. So there's really only probably 20, 25 spots left. So if you're interested in joining the Random Rob Discord group, get a hold of, just email RandomRobReviews@gmail.com, and Mike will get you all set up. YZ80 says, I scored a bottle of Buffalo Trace there and gave it to Bean Boy. Oh, okay. I knew you picked up something. I'm going to go tomorrow, actually, because all of the stores really close to me do not have Buffalo Trace. I have to drive a little ways away. So tomorrow I'm going to just go for a cruise. I haven't driven the Honda in a while, so I'm going to go drive that. And they had cases of it. So I'm going to go pick up I don't want to hoard. I'm not a hoarder. I like to have a couple bottles and I'll drink them. So I'm going to go there and pick up probably a couple bottles. Maybe I'll give one away or something because I know people like them. So, all right, let me get a couple of comments here. Harper Woods, shout out to Rob. I don't know what that means. Desire68 says, just finished a bottle of Nika from the barrel for my birthday. Solid Japanese whiskey, made whiskey of the back in 2018. Michael and I were talking about, we were kind of exploring Japanese whiskeys back in the day. And I was drinking the Nika as well, but I think the coffee or something like that. It was the way it was distilled or something. So I haven't had that in a long time. In Japanese whiskeys, holy cow, that's a big rabbit hole. So see, Dane says he's an OG founder and already re-upped. Maybe 2024 will be better for me and flippers. I think you're already doing pretty good with the flipping, so you might have redeemed yourself. Mitch Maddock with the $2 here super chat says, what's up, Random Robbers? Hello from Austin, Texas. I still have not gotten down to Austin, Texas to hang out or do anything. Steve, what's up? Let's see. Tim says, Rob gives all Discord members a free notice hand-delivered via Honda Cub. Man, if I had the time off work, I would love to ride that sucker around. But what you do get if you join the Random Rob Discord, is you get one of these, if you can see it, pretty thick challenge coins with kind of like an orange monster on that side, and it's pretty dang cool. I'm pretty happy with that, and I'm actually going to do some more coins here soon too. Oh yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much for watching every day. So I have, let's see. I'm gonna put Casio ProTrack soon. I still have no pure digital watch. Any suggestions? G-Shock Square, 5600. Just go basic. Will Carey maybe ask some of the fellows that are in here what their end of the world watch is? No. It's a Big Bearded Viper says never really drank much bourbon. Teach me something. Oh my God, you're so full of shit. Literally every time I've met up with Big Bearded Viper, my buddy Paul, he's like randomly just pulls out of the bag. He's like, and he'll have like the hottest stuff, and he somehow has the knack of finding what I call hot, but like a higher proof, like 120th, proof, in that range. And he's like, do you want to try it? And I'm like, well, yeah, I'm not going to turn down a try on something, And for some reason, every time I've tried one of the high proofs that he shares with me, it's smooth. It's incredibly smooth and has a ton of flavor. So, yeah, Big Bearded Viper has a wealth of knowledge when it comes to bourbon and whiskeys. What is on the way? I just got a watch. I love that shop app. You probably heard that. A watch that I ordered. He took a long time to get it shipped, but he finally got it out, and I should hopefully have it here soon. Raj is checking in from the UK. Thanks for joining us. YZ80 would like some ninja throwing stars instead of challenge coins. No, I already have the next one planned out. So I spent. Let's see. Freedom Van says I spent more on a bottle than I ever have last week. Tip: don't be on the phone with a fellow bourbon friend while at the package store. $300 later. I have not reached the $300 mark yet. What did you buy, Freedom? I could probably make some guesses of what it might be. At $300, what would you have bought at $300? And if it's a bourbon, give me a hint, and I bet you I could guess what it is. Because that's not retail price either. That's like market price, guaranteed on that. So that's going to be. Dang it, man! There's quite a few at $300. Shockingly, and it's not Pappy. You can't get Pappy for $300. Pappy's a couple grand. So. I might. I probably won't go get it. I think tomorrow I'm just going to get a couple bottles of Buffalo Trace and then see what's there. But there's some gems up here because I think there's not a lot of connoisseurs and they don't know really where to look. Plus, I have some. I'm building up some contacts, so I have options on those allocations, whether it's Eagle Rare or Blanton's or. Oh yeah, definitely. So it's a Wild Turkey line. I don't know all the Wild Turkey line at $300. It would take me a minute. Mad Dog. It's definitely not Mad Dog. Yeah, I'm typically not. Like I said, I like the sweeter stuff, so I do like the Buffalo Trace line because they do kind of lend themselves to being sweeter. But man, this Woodford Reserve, this double oak, I'm a huge fan for sure. Fedora Gent with a guess. Wild Turkey's Master Keep. And Big Bearded Viper is guessing Wild Turkey Generations. Raj says, "What's my take on Wolf watch rolls? Wolf makes really good winders and maybe some storage cases, but personally, I would go with there's some other brands out there I'd go with. I mean, that are way. I mean, they're just better. Actually, they're just better. In some cases, if you're willing to spend that much money, I mean, you could go with. I don't know what size you're looking at doing, but you can go buy a visitor watch and it comes with a nice roll, and it obviously would be more than how much a wolf roll would be, but you get the watch too. So, and then who's the other brand? There's another brand I just got too. Some of these brands, you just buy the watch and it comes with a watch roll. Zelos, actually, I just got a Zelos in, and it's a nice watch roll. Yeah, Tim. So yeah, maybe just buy a Zelos and get the watch roll for free. Holy cow, what is this? Tobster said he went to a Grand Seiko Suntory GS9 event yesterday, saw the $350,000 constant force tourbillon, and drank free whiskey. That sounds like a good evening. I am nowhere near where those events happen. Oh, yeah, Bean Boy. I forgot about that. Zao actually comes with a nice watch roll, too. So, yeah, I mean, buy a watch, get a watch roll. Forget about buying a wolf. Okay. So that was Fedora Gent's guess, I think, right? Wild Turkey Master Keep Voyage. Well, hopefully you enjoy it. Mitch Maddox says it's the Zao Legend that comes with it. It's probably not all Zao watches. It's the Zao Legend, which Zao is doing. I think one of his first events with his remodeled Airstream. I wonder if I can find pictures of that. Have you guys seen this thing? I don't know if I can find pictures of it. Might have to search it up different. Did that live stream. I cannot find pictures of it. I got to find pictures of the Airstream. He like did it in black, but you think like Airstream in black would be kind of like, what are you doing? But he literally did a great job on it. And that whole side opens up and he's got nice stairs going into the side, and he has like his watches displayed in there. Genius idea for I'm sure the Airstream was probably not mint. It was probably trashed or something, and he gutted it anyway. So it was awesome. It was awesome. Yeah, Watchwit says he did a Instagram. He did a reel on it for sure. He did a live stream on it too. So I need to get some of those normal size Glencairns. I have like a mini one, but I need like a normal one. So if anyone's looking to get me like a Christmas present or something, you could get me a set of Glencairns. The wet one has joined. The wet one is Wet Watches is saying happy birthday to Dane Celine Driver. Is it Dane's birthday? Oh yeah, no, it's not Dane's birthday. It was your father that passed away. It was his birthday. So, oh, I didn't know that. I guess I've I've talked to Alan a bunch of times. Maybe he did say that. I can't remember. I can't keep track of everybody I talk to. I can't even figure out how to get the bar out of my face. I can't figure out how to lift my seat, but I can figure out how to pour more of this Woodford Reserve and spill it a little bit. I didn't say I was good at pouring. I just said I could pour. Fedora John. Alan is wicked smart. What is this? Rob, buy one watch from different part of the globe. Don't they all come from China? I'm pretty sure they all come from China. Oh man, I am both looking forward to and dreading making my state of the collection. Right before I did this live stream, I actually went over and watched Jody from Just One More Watch posted his 2023 State of the Collection video. I don't know if you guys already watched it yet. Yeah, the sound of that pour inspired you to pour another one. Go for it, brother. Um, so he has an interesting collection. It was 37 minutes long. Hopefully, my video isn't that long, but it might be. Um, we'll see. We'll see. It's going to be a long video. I'm dreading it because I know immediately after I make the video, I'm going to probably put for sale like probably 50 of them. I'll probably end up selling like 50 of those watches. So I'm always dreading that. And I already have legit back in the cubbies back here. And there's more over there. What is there? There's probably like I don't know. I probably have at least like 50 watches to throw up on a Sunday fun day sale. So like I'll probably do another small Sunday fun day sale this Sunday. It'll probably be somewhere between 10 and 15 watches. I'm not going to go nuts. So Will Carey says it's pedal time. In case you don't know what that means, I think Will's heading off to work. I'm pretty sure that's what he's implying. He actually rides his bike to work. Maybe he's onto something because he's in a lot better shape than I am. Reading some comments, guys. Man, this is. I don't know why I waited so long to get this Woodford Reserve. This thing is legit way better than I anticipated. Like good enough where I don't know why people are like trying to get all these allocations and stuff. You can go and get this stuff. It's right on the shelf. George is saying, I'm really liking the CWC G22, but I can't really justify the price. Anyone with experience with a watch. CWC makes great watches, guys. Let me bring that up. CWC watch. Let's go and share. No, I don't want to do that. I want to do this. No, this. I can remove that. Okay. We're not signing up for anything just yet. And right there, you're looking at the G22. So this guy here, I've not handled this one. I'm assuming your wrist is a little bit smaller. Well, I can wear that. It's 38.5 millimeter. The lug to lug being 41 millimeters, where I would struggle with this watch. But if you have a smaller wrist, then this watch is going to be great. And the price point, 457 pound. I don't know what the conversion is on that, but I'm assuming that's over 500 US. I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with that at all. I mean, if that's the watch you want, then it's not a matter of justifying the price. It's always going to be in the back of your head that you want to see this watch. You're never going to be able to like. So, like Tim says, it looks like, say, a Budberry Voyager for $75. Now, absolutely, if you want to like test the waters, if you're going to actually like that watch, maybe you could go pick up something that is very similar to that. But ultimately, you're even with doing that, all that's either going to do is either confirm that you like that style of watch on your wrist or that you don't. So it could be a potential good way to go. But in my opinion, CWCs typically hold their value pretty good. So you could buy this watch and try it. And then if you don't like it, you could probably sell it and get most of your money back, maybe $75 less what to try the other one to see if you like it or not would cost you. But the reality is you have to check that box. If you're obsessing about a particular watch and it's the price is the main thing that's holding you back, but it's still not ridiculous. You know, that one being $574 is what roughly 573, 574, what people are saying in the comments. That's not absurd money. I'm not saying it's not. I'm not saying it's nothing. $500-$600 is still a decent amount of money, but you could probably do it. You could probably do it relatively quick. So I would say go for it. I mean, why would you not go for it? Let's go back here. I got to read some more comments here, guys. Tennessee Mike says best release of 23 opinion. I still need to really like mull that over, Mike, and probably do a standalone video on that. I kind of did it for 22, right? Was it the GMT basically from Seiko? So I'm not going to repeat that. I'm going to do something different, but I'm not 100% sure what it is yet. I need to really think about that. Mitch Maddox says Basil Hayden's. I've tried it. It's not my favorite. I have not tried Booker's. Dr. Bob says, CU wrist check, SBDX. Let me go back to the screen. Wrist check is, I am wearing actually the Momentum CQ, which oddly enough, and I'm wearing it on the Random Rob limited edition strap habit digital camo because it's awesome. But oddly enough, I was wearing this watch today, and the guy, my contact over at Momentum, messaged me and said the black, they did the same watch but in black. It came in and they're sending it to me. I'm like, well, that is so crazy. What a coincidence that I was actually wearing this and the black one showed up. So I have that on the way now too. YZ80 says, what do you think of the Ocean Crawler Bolt that launched today? Let me go look at that up. Let me go back to screen share. Let's go look that up. Ocean Crawler Bolt. That's this guy. We do not need the 50 dowel hairs off. We're just looking. That's freaking cool. Honestly, as weird as this is, because it doesn't, it's not like a direct comparison. That's cooler than what Doxa just released, in my opinion. Just my opinion, based on facts. This is like totally something new from this line. It's not something new as far as like the watch world is concerned. You know, I don't know. I don't know that I can. This is something new. I don't think I've seen this design. It's thin, 42 millimeter. I'm kind of on board with this. $1,000. These renderings here, these pictures look bad. Those pictures look good. I like that picture. That's not the same watch. Well, I already clicked discover more. That's just these. Okay, so we need to look at blue. No, these are pre-order. The black with the extra colors on there. Why does it do that? I don't want it to do that. That's cool. I dig that. But I'm going to share something with you guys a little bit later. I like the red. I think I like the yellow the most right now. That's clean. I like that, Chris. I might have to get a hold of these guys. What clasp did they use? Are you going to show me the clasp, please? Yes, thank you. You did not use a stupid butterfly clasp. This is a cool watch. I'm digging it. Is that, they even applied the OC, which maybe they have done that on other watches. That looks good on wrist. I don't know. This is a nice watch. I like this watch. Let's see. Let's scroll through some comments. Rob, do you dream watches and name your grail? No, I do not dream watches, and I don't think I can answer that. Like and name your grail. Like I don't know that I have a grail, or at least I don't think of grail watches like other people's maybe do. Like I might desire a watch. Like I still want that orange dial ZRC. But is it a grail watch? No. I just need to probably sell a couple watches and I could go buy it, which maybe I'll do. So, not taken. I don't know what this means. Why is it not showing? It doesn't show. Okay. Okay. Bloody love my new Gear 41 millimeter, not taking it off all week. I don't know what a new Gear 41 is. Get a Bertucci. No. I'd rather have the CWC at Tim. Okay. G-SAR 41. G-SAR 41s are cool. That perfect case size is 44.3. Let's see. That doesn't speak to me, but that's just me. That's what Dane says. I mean, that's cool. You can be wrong. That's fine. It's okay to be wrong. That's a freaking cool watch, and I want to see one. I'm not paying $1,000 to see it, but I am going to reach out to Sebastian and be like, I want to see that. Check Long Island watch for Bertucci and GSR. MWC also has a good one. Quartz Beast, and I think there was Basil Hayden, just a bit light for me. My eyes. What will 2024 bring us? 23 was the year of GMTs and integrated bracelets. I don't think we're done with that, BM. I really don't think we're done with GMTs. I think we're going to see more interesting designs in 2024, whether it be colorway combinations and or designs. Ocean Crawler obviously proving that here. This is a unique design. I really dig it. Marcus says, I think I'm getting ready to pick up the Monta Ocean King. Awesome watch. Also, Scotch over Bourbon. Again, it's okay to be wrong. Let's see. Magnum PI. Yeah, that's the watch I'm wearing. Mitch, agree. Bertucci. Wise Watch Company got new watches. I haven't worked with those guys in a while. Let's see. Man, I am trying to catch up with trying to catch up with comments. Let me switch back over to this because we don't need to look at that. Tim says the Doxa was lame. Hey, that's your words, not mine. That's your words. Thoughts on the FC High Life chronograph? I really like the Frederic Constant High Life lineup, and being in a chronograph is really cool as well. Hold out for discounts on the FCs though, because Citizen owned, and Citizen is notorious for doing massive discounts. Definitely, I mean, maybe not 50% off, but like probably if you just wait, you'll get it for 50% off. Kevin says Ty is a great photographer. Ty is not only is a great photographer, but he's also a cool dude. If you ever get a chance to hang out with Ty, do it. I look forward to the next meetup where he's there. I hung out with him in DC, I think. Actually, I hung out with Ty and the owner of Ocean Crawler, Sebastian, in a basement bar. Basically, it was like a whiskey bar or something like that. And Ty bought me a drink. And then he was with Greg Wood, and Ty brought him one too, but Greg doesn't really drink. So really, Ty bought me 2 drinks. Thank you, Ty. I appreciate it. I'm going to scroll ahead. I don't believe in grails. Okay, let's see what we picked up. Oh, hey, why is Greg on the chat? Aren't you like hanging out with buddies? Greg says, we picked up a Glycine Combat sub at Costco closeout for $150. That's a legit deal. I would not walk past that either. I also would have bought that. I don't care what colorway it was or if it was on strap or whatever. A Glycine Combat sub automatic for $150. I buy it every single time I see it. Oh, okay, Dane. Totally redeemed. You're not wrong. You're right. I agree with you. I personally don't like the CWC, not for my wrist, but I think it does look good. I just don't want it for my wrist. That is a legit concern. The red eye on your icon is a disturbing thing. It's hard for me to look at, but the Omega bezel looks like it's slippery. Does not look like there's a whole lot of traction on there. I don't typically spin the bezel a lot, so it isn't a deal breaker for me necessarily, but let's see. The Mitch Maddock, 100%. The Doxa Army is awesome. Even the Synchron Army is awesome. I agree. Ooh, solid question, Matthew. Do you miss your BSOs? Short answer is yes. I actually kind of do. Do I miss it enough to go out and like buy another one? No. I mean, the white one was already a rebuy. So like for me to rebuy that one a third time would be ludicrous and something I would do. The orange one, I like the orange one more for sure. After owning both of them, but I'm not going to rule out a rebuy on that. Let's see here. Do you feel the Zuno Shellback version 2 is a higher quality product than the Baltic Aquascape? Yes. Let me think about it. Clearly, yes. Actually, I do. Uh, whoa. Let me. That's not that. Greg says to Tim, Raven and Dryden will actually have watches for sale tomorrow. And Dryden actually has some new. He's got a new purple dial one that I want. Besides the Grand Seiko quartz, what's another accurate quartz you prefer? This is going to be kind of weird, but like legit. Hi guys, and cheers from Ariel. I'm trying to keep up. Tim, I almost want to put your comment up. This marathon, the Marathon Navigator, has a very accurate Swiss quartz in it, and I've been kind of testing it. It's ridiculous, and it's more my style anyway. You know, like it's more everyday wear type thing. I don't want to say masculine, but like more rugged, military looking ish or something. In that movement, Grand Seiko doesn't hold the title of like most accurate quartz. There's other more accurate quartz watches out there, believe it or not. So yeah, and then there's Swiss, and Breitling has them as well. There's super quartz movements that are COSC. Am I still live? Yes. Yes. Okay. Let me go back up a little bit here because I gotta spin the bezels all the time. I'm trying to read comments, guys. Let me read this one. Forbin Colossus says, Random Rob, what do you like in Zelos? I got a Hammerhead version 3 titanium in chalk blue, and I still haven't worn it yet. I like it, but I'm not in love with it. I feel the same way about Zelos. It's definitely, they enter into a category that I really like, but I don't necessarily love them. But loving a watch is not the criteria that I use for purchasing a watch. Clearly, when you at some point watch my state of the collection video, the only requirement it takes for me to own a watch or wear a watch is that I like the watch. I don't have to love it. So, like for example, I have this Zelos black tip, and I guess I could show you that, but it's not launched yet. But it's a super cool watch. It checks all the boxes that I would typically like for it. So, is that enough to buy the watch? Well, if you couple that with the fact that it's maybe a really good deal, then yeah. But then also, like what Mike said, is odds are that I'm probably going to sell it. But also, even knowing before I buy a watch that I know that I'm going to sell it also doesn't prohibit me from buying the watch in the first place. I will still buy a watch to wear it and experience it, even if I know on the backside that I'm going to sell it, and most often sell it for a loss. Still won't stop me. 100% will still do it. So, loving a watch, liking a watch. Like watch, I will do it. If I know I'm going to sell the watch, I'll still do it. Because, I mean, what are we doing? We're all like insanely into the watch hobby. So why would you not just want to see these watches? Whether you get a chance to personally own it, or if you can go to meetups or local gatherings or anything like that, however you want to experience these brands and own it or not own it, I think figure it out and just do it. I saw the ZRC on your channel first. I am a fan now. Go check one out if you can. I don't know if you're anywhere near the exquisite timepieces in Naples, Florida. If you are and you need, a buddy to go with you or something like that, let me know. I'm constantly looking for an excuse or reason to get down to Florida and just hang out. I don't know why. I probably just don't live there, but yeah. Go check out a ZRC. I would say go check them out and try them on first before you actually just go buy them, because they are legit kind of expensive, and they're a little odd, with the crown and everything, but super cool, like statement piece cool. Oh yeah, Chris says I flipped 3 Zelos. Now my sorry ass is rebuying 3 Zelos. Let's see. Forbidden classes. Rob, you have it down. The buying and selling and all that shipping must be like rolling out of bed to you. Yeah, it completely is. And I've mentioned this before. What I do is not reality for the most part. Um, I have outside, so I have my studio here, what you see, and then literally on the other side of the wall, you go through this door around the corner, and I have basically a shipping department. It's a whole long bench with a shipping printer, tons of different boxes, massive storage of tape and packing material. So it's yeah, that's not normal, right? That's YouTube, that's watch YouTube channel stuff. You guys aren't really doing that. So like don't get caught up in thinking like what I do or when I show you my state of the collection that's normal. Of course, some of you guys actually are at that level, but that's for the most of us that is not normal. Like I also can't say that even if I didn't have the channel that I probably wouldn't be doing what I'm doing, because I probably would, because I kind of was before I even started the channel. But again, it's not normal. Matthew says he popped into Exquisite last week for the first time. Smaller than I thought, but cool stuff, and I love the pre-owned store next door. Yeah, the space is maybe a little deceiving. Like you're envisioning like this massive layout and everything like that, but they're just cram packed with watches. And then there's a ton of watches that you don't even see, right? Oh my god, thank you so much. That is oddly better than the red eye because I have like this weird eye issue. But yeah, thanks, Dr. Bob's, for mostly fixing your eye. Kicks to the Head says, I can't decide between Maine Hudson or the Baltic Aquascape. What do you think? That's a tough one. And if you've narrowed it down to those two, I would say get them both. You need to try them both. If you haven't tried them both, I think just get them both. See if you can get them on the used market. I don't have either of those right now. Otherwise, I would send them to you because I know you're in Michigan and you could check them out. But I don't have either one of them to even like loan them to you. But I think the Maine might be a little bit like nicer feeling on wrist, but the Baltic is no slouch either. Hey, well, Carrie made it there safe. Good thing your workout is done. Now you can go to work. All right. I know I missed some comments, guys. I'm sorry. Try to scroll back. What is this? Let me read this one. Going back to the Zuno Shellback, I'm wondering how the Christopher Ward lineup, such as a C60, compares. Christopher Ward watches are solid. They line up very good. Let me go pull. Where's the Shellbacks? What do they do with them? Oh, I put them back in the package. Let me grab one. This is the new one. Yeah, this is the new one. I don't want to grab the prototype. I want to grab because I think this is maybe a production one. Okay. They're not at the same price point, though, are they? So the clasp on the Zuno is basically the same clasp. I would venture to say that. Let me look at this a little bit closer. So sometimes I can look at these and I can tell you like where they're made. Okay, so this Zuno might be made at the same place that Christopher Ward is. I don't know if it is. It definitely has the same style clasp. The finishing is on point. The finishing is good. The bezel action's a little springy, but I don't know if this one's a prototype as well. Yeah, this is a prototype as well. So the bezel action is going to be different. I can't pick apart a prototype like that because I guarantee it's going to be different. I would say that the Zuno is probably going to be like a level playing field with Christopher Ward. All right, let me find some more current comments. Okay, so you're in St. Clair Shores. So I do get down there occasionally. It's been a while. I am due to get down that way again, but like I said, I don't have the Maine or the Baltic right now. But occasionally they pop up on the used section. You could buy both those watches used too. And honestly, I would probably, other than the Maine, where's the Maine shipped out of? Let's see. Christopher Ward Moon is pretty awesome. Christopher Ward C63. Eat the Swedish cookies. Yes. I was tearing those up actually earlier. I'm not ashamed to admit it. I went to go try one and then I probably had 7. So I don't know what the calorie count is on those, but yeah, I'm not getting any thinner today. Let's see. Greg says, come see the new Dryden Pathfinders in Kansas City at the Dryden and Finch holiday party. Well, if you're not already in Kansas City area, you're probably not going to make it because that party is tomorrow. So, but definitely a nice plug. Ooh, Sam's dad with a solid question: John Wick or Equalizer? Is that like a versus or which one I like more? Because I have an opinion on both. Personally, I like watching Equalizer more so than John Wick. I watched all of them, and I get it with the John Wick thing, but it's just a body count. That's all it is. With Equalizer, you actually get a little bit of a story. You know what I mean? It's a little more soft core killing. There's more. I mean, there's still a body count, but it's almost like. Dang it, how do I explain this? It's less superhero and more like high trained government assassin or something. Like it could actually be kind of realistic, but it's not. Whereas John Wick is almost like he's basically a superhero. See, I don't know. I get it. I know there's a story there. I get it. There's the journey, the story, and everything. But I mean, if you that part of it is not really what the movie is. Like when you watch the movie, it's just a straight up body count. You gotta be deep hardcore John Wick fan to like focus on the story. If you're not and you just go to the theater and watch it, it's just a body count. See, I got some old Movados and Bulivas when I started collecting. Have you seen some of the watches that Movado's releasing right now? Buliva's got some really cool stuff too. And they've been doing some cool stuff. But Movado's, something changed over there, something in leadership changed over there, or something, because they're actually putting out some really cool looking watches right now. Fedora John. Wait, John Wick had a story? Yeah, there was something about a puppy or something. I don't know. Now you're talking. There you talk. Mitch Maddock, Ronin with De Niro. There you go. Now you're talking. I love watching those movies. Okay, there you go. Oh wait, doing good nowadays, don't say. No, I was trying to read right here. Edward Woodward is a retired 007. See, and that's where I like the mystery behind that, because that's the other thing is you almost have to like use your imagination, because they don't give you a ton of backstory on that. They flirt with it, but they don't give you any details necessarily. Movado has the stupid watches with no indices. Drives me nuts. Well, they don't. They're not the only one that does that. Check this out. Yeah, yeah. They're not the only. There's luxury watches that are like that too. No, but Movado's actually doing some really cool looking stuff right now. Okay, but could John Wick beat Rambo? Um, in jungle warfare with starting with no weapons. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't like those hypotheticals anyway. Mm-hmm. Dane, 100%. H. Mosier and CIE, I don't know how to say that, is famous for non-indice dials. Yeah. And I get that. Actually, I actually kind of understand it at that level, or maybe even the Movado level, where you're just like, I don't know, I'm just wearing a watch. It doesn't matter. I don't really care. But the H. Moser, like if you're buying at that level, and Unimatic has done it too, it's just a piece of jewelry. It doesn't really matter. Okay, so just pronounce C. Just say the letter C. That's dumb. Then why do they do a CIE? I'm gonna call it CIA or something. I don't know. If you want to be called C, then just put the letter C. Or you could, I don't know, whatever. I'm not gonna. I need to drink some more. All right, where are we at here? That man, Chris, that ocean crawler. I knew that was coming out. Um, that's a good looking watch. I like the yellow one. I'm trying to make, just between you guys. I kind of have like this little thing that I'm going to try to do for 2024. I'm going to try to limit my watch purchases to either white dial or orange dial watches only. That's going to be problematic, I can already tell. You absolutely do not need to guess the time with those watches, by the way. I wore that watch the other day at work, and you can clearly tell what hour it's pointing at. I mean, if you've worn a watch, you can clearly tell. And then you can at least tell it at what 15-minute increment it's pointing at. And then basically in between there, I don't know, you're close enough. You can kind of guess. You can still tell the time on it. Are you going to get accurate time? No. But guess what? Even when I look down at my watch now, like I glance at it, did the indices really help me, or is it where the hands are pointing? And I just looked at it and it said basically it was pointing at the 10 and near the 4. So, and oh, guess what? It turns out it's 10:03. I just turned to 10:04. So, and that was a quick glance, and I could do it even without the markers. That's just, you know, it's just like reading words with the wrong letters and the letters in the wrong order. You still read the word. You're just looking at shapes. You're looking at the shapes and where they're pointing, and then your brain just triggers and it tells exactly what time it is. Chris, that's some solid advice. That would probably save me a lot of time if I just started the year with that and just be like, all right, I'm done. I'm out. But yeah, no, my monkey brain doesn't work that way, and I'm not gonna buy any luxury watches anyway. Hey, my good friend Terry's checking in from Miami. Thanks for joining. There you go. Eyeing a vintage Rolex Datejust with a white dial. You are not going to go wrong with that, my friend. That's a good looking watch. And Georgia, you're probably correct on that, but I always have these loopholes, right? So like me, Rob, right? Just the regular guy, Rob, is trying to enter into that logic where I'm only going to buy white dials and orange dial watches just because that's the way my brain works, and I'm trying to like hone in and focus. But I have an out because guess what? Random Rob, he can do whatever he wants. That guy's constantly just doing things for the channel and doing all kinds of weird things. Plus, I get watches sent to me that I don't have to pay for, so those don't really count. Those are exempt. So I have all kinds of outs. So like for 2024, if you're paying attention and you go like, "Hey, you said you're only going to buy white dial or orange dial watches," my instant comeback is going to be, "Random Rob bought that. I didn't do that. I had nothing to do with that." So, best white dial watch this past year. That's a solid, good question. What did I what did I get that was white dial? I have a whole drawer full of white dials. Um, hmm, that I have or that was released. I don't know if I can narrow it. That's my problem with when people do top fives or they do like this is the best one. I can't freaking do it. Like you just asked me that, and like logically, I should be able to have a clear answer on which was the best white dial watch that you got this year. And I go open my drawer with all the white dial watches, and I go and I look at them, and I'm like, that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, that one. It's like 5 or 10 watches. It's all of them. Yeah, Paul, I got that one over there, and it's freaking awesome. The white dial one. Um, Nate Dogg. So we get 2 state of the collections. We get Random Rob's and yours. So we're it's a weird. It might be a split personality, but it's conjoined twins split personality. So like we're not that far apart. If that makes sense. I don't know that I can separate. Like even if Random Rob bought it, it's like both of our watches, but we just keep it at my house. Like I still have complete access to them. We wear the same watches. There you go, Tennessee Mike. I like that. The best white dial watch is the next one you buy. That's solid. Mm, that is really good. I have not actually. You guys maybe think I have drinking a bunch of this, but I legit haven't. And man, I'm getting super good at pouring this. And I have nothing to clean it up with. I guess I'll use this. Let's see. Paul says, between now and the end of the year, are you going to buy a watch? A watch? Paul, are you saying a watch? No, I'm not going to buy a watch. I'm going to buy watches. Don't get that twisted. Let's see. Sam's dad. Wait, go here. Sam's dad says, will 2025 be the year of meteorite dials only? No, I'm not a huge fan of meteorite dials in general, but I do like the way they look, but I'm not like drawn to them. Oscar says, hey, what do you think of those Seagull watches? I think they're awesome. I think they're great values. But I don't ever wear them. And so I don't know. Can I? Let's see. Live is going until that. Man, if I were to drink that whole thing, about halfway through that, you guys would be going like, all right, somebody needs to tell Rob to stop. And then the other half, if I were to able to do it, I don't think I could do it. I don't think I could drink a whole bottle because that's 750 ml. That's a fifth. I can't drink that whole thing. I could probably drink half of it, and it would be wasted. Do you miss your white Omega, Rob? Are you talking about the white Seamaster? Oddly enough, no. And I have that green. I have the green one in right now. I have the green Seamaster in right now for a video, and it's not gonna focus. But the Seamasters are great, and I get it. Absolutely lovely watch. Like it actually makes sense to buy one of these. Like these are, and you can get discounts on them too. Not much, but this one's 5,600 on strap, not on bracelet. But boy, I don't know. Man, when you start thinking logically, I hate it when you start thinking logically. I don't like looking at luxury watches because it's going to make me want one again. And I'm not buying a luxury watch. Do I miss it? No. George A. So, genuine question. The watch industry have been getting a lot of attention over the past few years. Do you think it'll increase or decrease over the next couple of years? Um, well, I mean, I'm biased towards what I would like to see. I would like to see a similar path of what they're on right now, where there's a lot of enthusiasm toward them and it continues to grow. But realistically, it's just gonna depend on what happens with society, the economy, and everything like that. Um, Even with the success of a lot of brands, um, I know for a fact that this although the sales are overall pretty good, I also know that they're very competitive, and there's going to be quite a few of the brands that maybe we like. They're not going to make it out. They're not going to make it past whatever we call this era. Um, it's there's too many, right? So whatever the scenario is that, and I don't know what the right choice is. I'm not a businessman, right? So I don't know what the right choice is as far as like, do you invest heavily into it and do you continue to grow to be, a powerhouse, which some brands are doing that, or do you do it? I mean, you kind of want to do that anyway because it makes you marketable, whether it's to retain your brand and continue to be profitable, but it also potentially makes you marketable in the sense that a bigger brand or another brand that's a peer that is also looking to level up might consider purchasing your brand. So then you cash out and then you go do something else. That's going to happen with some of these micro brands that we see now. You're gonna see that eventually. I'm predicting that. Like you're gonna see, it's not a merger, it's a brand buys another brand. For whatever reason, I fully predict that happening. There's already some like not alliances, but like definitely collaborations happening behind the scenes to make sure that they kind of all rise with the tide. And I think that's probably the most successful business model because they're all going to probably come up together. It's not necessarily a union, but it's kind of like a union. Then you're going to have all these other smaller brands that we know and love and stuff like that, and they might even be like not U.S. brands, that are micro brands that are sourcing their parts from elsewhere. But you'll see brands that are even outside of the U.S. disappear. So, and they're not going to disappear overnight either. Like it might seem like it to you and I, but if you look at the path, it's going to be a slow death. You know, you're going to see them just dissolve. In many cases, no one will buy them up because even back in the day when the quartz crisis happened, nobody bought them up then. They let them die because they were all struggling. So they didn't have capital to invest into other ones. It wasn't only until later that we see the rebirth or the Phoenix brands where they rejuvenated. So it would be generations. We'll be old men by then. So mm. Craig Bess, so good to see you here. He says, "Do you think Manta and Oak and Oscar will survive?" I don't want to like pick on any particular brands, but I will speak on those two brands because they're both doing something that is different than what a lot of the other ones are doing. So Manta already kind of had capital and they already had solid business planning before they even started, right? So that's going to give them an edge. However, they are dealing with a very competitive product and they're in a place where they're definitely still punching above their weight, but but and they're not going to get. I shouldn't say they're going to not get gobbled up because I could see a luxury brand probably buying them. That is a possibility, but it would be a pretty big major purchase. So that could happen. That could actually happen. And do they want it to happen? Um, maybe not, but when you start talking numbers and stuff like that, and they start getting thrown around, sometimes you start to realize that what, maybe it's time. So that could potentially happen. Now with Oak and Oscar, it's so funny to me because so many people, like when I post up an Oak and Oscar video, people like dog on them. They're like, I shouldn't cost that much. What they don't realize is, it's I'm going to use this comparison because just like some of these bourbons or whiskeys that we drink, uh, you're like, you can buy a bottle of that for like $30 and it's nearly as good. But there's diminishing returns, and then there's marketing, and then there's just like the special culture or lifestyle behind the brand, and that's what Oak and Oscar does. They have that level of inclusion where you're like, when you get an Oak and Oscar, you're like, you're part of that community. So they're building a business in a different way, and I now see some other brands trying to emulate that. So I think it's a good business model. They're doing two completely different genres of watches, nearly the same price points, and two completely different business plans. And both of them have the potential to be here for the long haul. I feel like this is a deep topic, and I don't I hate getting into it because there's just a lot of speculating. So let's see. Yeah, the Aquaterra homage like space is tough. Like Formex too. Yeah, and Formex is the kind of the same thing. They're up there too. They're up at that tier. Does that make them more? Um, I don't know. I don't think it's a dangerous. It's not a dangerous place to be. I think the dangerous place to be is in the potentially in the infancy and like in the beginning stages, and that's where and that's unfortunately that's where you have to start. So the risk is mostly at that level, and you're going to see. And I don't want to name names, but you're going to see brands come out, and you're going to be like, "That's freaking awesome," and that is an awesome product and an awesome brand, and you're inspired by it, and you're maybe passionate about that brand, but they're destined to fail. Every town has this spot, this one retail spot, and it's usually a restaurant, right? And no matter what restaurant goes there, they end up going out of business. No matter how good the food is, no matter how good the branding is, or and it's not necessarily the location because you would think it would survive in that location, right? But every town has this. It's there. You might be a patron, you might go there, and then a year from now or 6 months from now, it's gone. And that's exactly what's going to happen in the watch world space. No matter how good it is or how great you think they should become, unfortunately, they don't know it, you don't know it, I don't know it, they're destined to fail. It's just that's the only way the story ends. And we can't predict who it is going to be. Let's see. Floridian says, "Wish I had the Cub here to navigate all the traffic." I should have left it with you, Randy. I don't know what I was thinking. It took what, 2 months for me to get it. I should have just left it with you, man. You could have been riding it all over. Of course, you're not. Oh no, you are kind of at home, aren't you? I just shipped that box of watches to you. Let's see. With the SW220 brands, I really like Squale and Christopher Ward. The Miyota 9000 series or 9075. I hope Baltic and Smiths make it more great smaller companies, but it's a congested area right now. And again, I don't want to talk about brands specifically because I easily can, but we need to do that like face to face. Like I'm not going to do that on this live stream because I would never do that to a brand. But I have opinions on pretty much every single brand that you could name, but I'm not going to do it here. I'm not going to. Yeah, but I agree with you on that, Mitch Maddox. Squale's not going anywhere. There's way more behind the scenes with some of these brands that you guys don't even realize. With deep pocket capital backing with some of these brands that you guys have, you don't realize it's there. It's there. Mm. Canadian. I gotta address this. I don't think micro brands will be bought up. Large companies will want purchase brands with long history, or at least perceived long history. At least a book of business that supports the purchase. So I agree with you on that. You're not going to see like a young micro brand purchased up. Um, However, we might see something new that didn't exist before. You might see um, owner um, owner operator at a larger scale, like almost like crowd funded type things. I don't know how logistically that would work. That's a potential. Uh, but yeah, those brands, if things were to really turn south, yeah, they're just gone. They're just gone. They don't have the capital to sustain it. Uh, okay, so I guess I need to look this up because you brought it up a couple times. If it's terrible, I'm never going to look up a watch that you've mentioned again. So be warned. Batavi watch. Okay, that's a cool dial. I'm not feeling it personally. I get the Ming vibe, but that's mostly just the skeletonized hand shape because they have other models here that are very familiar to like a lot of other watches. Price points are definitely much more approachable. Have I done a video? I feel like this brand is slightly familiar. I think I've done a video on one of these, haven't I? I have done a video on one of these. I like the colorways on these. I remember these being a pretty good watch. Sandwich dial. I like the colors. I've done a video on one of these. I know I have. Okay, I'll let you recommend again, but I'm not super happy with that recommendation. Just between you and I. Okay. Uh, let's see. Paul says, "Will brick and mortar store develop the clientele to sell a micro brands to retail facing customers?" If it has not happened by now, it's not going to happen. I know some have flirted with it, but I don't think it works because if you have to, when with brick and mortar, when you have people walking in, um, most of the clientele, other than us watch nerds, are going to be people that know brands like Tag Heuer, Rolex, Omega, Breitling, the bigger brands, right? I mean, heck, even Shinola, whatever, Oris, maybe if you want to go down a little bit. Um, but when you have a walk-in customer that is not a complete watch nerd like you and I, and you have to explain to them what a Zelos is or whatever, pick whatever brand. I don't want to pick on Zelos. So they don't need any help. They're awesome on their own. But and they would never do a brick and mortar. But my point is the salesperson is going to have to sell it. Well, the salesperson works on commission. And the commission isn't going to be big on those watches, those brands. So why are they going to waste their time not making money explaining a brand that the person probably isn't going to buy anyway? They're just going to take the easy sale or they're just not going to invest the time. So Paul says white dial over all other color dials. There's some truth to that because, in my opinion, as we get older, the white dial watches are actually more legible if they're done correctly. So I do agree with that. MJ says most people who think they're a watch person will buy just about anything. Most people are not real watch people. So then there's that. There's a varying degree of what a watch person or a watch enthusiast is, just like there isn't any other hobby. So and then you get like egos or like uh, maybe even a level of snobbiness involved in that. And I think that's definitely something that we need to balance out. We need to be cognizant of that as watch enthusiasts because most of the people in the chat right now, and including myself, are much more knowledgeable than most people that are walking on the street. So when they come in and they show you like their watch and they might be excited about it for whatever brand it is, um, don't just dump on them. Just like interact with them and just it's okay. You got to start somewhere. You think I started with even a momentum watch? No, I started with like the 15 $10 $15 Casios, right? So, and those are still cool watches, by the way. Casio's god tier, like what Nico says, right? Paul says, how do comic book stores still around? Same as watch collectors. I don't know, man. And I used to be heavily into comic books. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Keep coming back to Dr. Oh my God, Tennessee Mike, 100%. The more I learn, the less I feel I know. Yeah. And it depends on where you want to go with your learning too. Like, do you want to get very intimate with the movements and everything like that? Or do you want to I personally like to get more knowledge and involvement with the brands and the business side of things and the people behind the brands. And then of course the other watch enthusiasts like you guys. I spend most of my effort on that level of learning. I don't know that I can name every part in an automatic watch. If you want to give me a test, I'll study for a couple days and I'll probably pass it. But there's spinny things and there's springs and there's jewels and stuff like that. But Desire 68 says, you're wearing a Momentum now, Rob. Yes, I am, and I have another one on the way. Absolutely love these watches. Super cool. Nice little pop of orange on there, and I don't know why it doesn't focus, but it doesn't. And then I have it on a Random Rob strap habit, limited edition FKM rubber strap. Wait, Guess isn't as good as Omega? Well, Swatch is. I've had an Omega that was made by Swatch, and it's definitely the same. So, Long Island John is here. Mitch Maddock joining, or says 100% Rob. I don't know what you're referring to. Something I said, maybe. I never know what I say either. Like, I need someone to like document some of the crap I say. Occasionally, I might say something intelligent. Oh yeah, I forget about that. They're Canadian. They're from Vancouver. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I'm sorry about you guys don't have any good bacon. But at least you have Momentum watches. Have I ever owned a Tag Heuer monocle? No, but I've had one on the channel. Paul says, have you reviewed the Revolt Gentis? I don't think so. It doesn't ring a bell. Canadian Watch Monkey says, oh, I just picked up the Doxa Sub 200 Shark Hunter. Wears great, looks great. Hand pink waving something. I'm actually a huge fan of the Doxa Sub 200. For one, it's the only Doxa with lyre lugs. It's super cool. And they have the yellow dial. It's pretty cool. No, Michael, I've seen your bacon. It's literally like it's ham. It's not bacon. Like I can send you some, I guess, if it helps. It's meat candy. I know you're not familiar with it. It's way better than what you think is bacon, but I can get that to you. Hmm. So Kick to the Head says he thinks Wise is doing some cool stuff. I haven't worked with them in a while, but they sent me a watch a long time ago, and it was oh, that's right. I forget, Michael. You're from Great Britain. British bacon. I actually might even be better than U.S. bacon. There's no way. So yeah, you probably know what bacon is, sure, but Canadian bacon. Yeah. You got to move down to the States, man. Come down here by me. Get out of there. It's time. It's time, brother. Come down here. We need to hang out together. I got a motorcycle now. I know you're into like crotch rockets. I probably can't keep up with you, but it's it's 125 cc. It's legit. So, oh, that's interesting. All right, let's check this out. Men, women. Women. You can view all women. You can view all women on this site, guys. You can view all the women. No, let's look at the new arrivals. Okay. These look familiar. I get it. They're using 904 steel. 720 true GMT. What does that mean? What movement are we using? Da, da, da. 904L. So we're using the 9075. That's a good looking watch. I'm not mad at it. 720, it's up there, but I get it. You got the specs. You got the 904L steel. You got the jumping hour, travel GMT. You know what Canada's actually really good at making is comedians. Some of the best comedians I've ever heard have been from Canada, and I think it's because A, they have never had good bacon, and B, it's too freaking cold up there. So, and beer, yeah, I don't want to go off on Canada. I haven't had very good experience with Canada. That's a good looking watch. Oh, and you can pick what color the GMT hand is. That's interesting. This is solid. I like this. This is a good looking watch. Well, it doesn't really have the hot dog hand on this one. It has more of a almost like their version of a cathedral hand or something. Is somebody messaging me? Tennessee Mike's. Oh, Tennessee Mike on the Discord is making sure everybody knows that I'm live. Yeah, I'm live. I don't want to read the private message, but theme of the day. Theme of the day today for the watch on the Discord was end of the world, end of days watch or whatever. For some reason I picked the momentum watch. I didn't want to go with cliche G-Shock, so I went a little bit different. So shoot, is there any new flippers? I don't think there's. Since we're on Discord real quick, let's look on flippers. There's a Norcane on here for sale. And we're all over the place, guys. We're all over the place. Oh, there's a Random Rob. Look at Dude BB is selling a Random Rob limited edition Borealis, number 20 of 50. This is you got to be careful posting up stuff like this. He said he bought two by mistake, so he's covering himself here, right? Because if he was selling his actual one, I mean, you got to be careful. I might actually kick him out of the Discord. I'm not going to do that. I don't care if you don't like the watch. Slapjohn sold his Alpinist. That's not too hard to do as long as your price is good, which the price is not. Oh, $450. Yeah, that's why it sold, because it's a good price. Here's a green dial Willard. I actually really like that Willard. How much does he want for this? Reduced, $585. Let me know when you get to $350. I know that's a ridiculous number, but I buy that watch at $350. Keith is selling his Breitling Super Ocean, the new variant, 44 millimeter, $29.50. Good deal. What else do we got on here? I haven't looked on here in a little bit. Well, that sold, whatever that was. That finally did sell. He was down to like 125 on that full loom dial Citizen, which is incredible. I was almost going to buy it. There's a Sea-Stern Doxa style, $80. $80. What else is on here? That's sold. All the cheap. You price them right and they sell. Colby's selling a couple of things here. What does he got? Jack Mason, $500 for the Jack Mason. Guys, that's a killer deal. And they don't even have that one anymore. The silver dial with the orange. That should be worth $500 all day long. $450 maybe. Somebody needs to buy that. I don't know how that Sea-Stern hasn't sold, or that Islander. $200 for that white Islander. That's a pretty good deal. Those are the prices that I would put probably on my Sunday fun day. I don't know why they haven't sold. Oh my god, a big bearded Viper selling a VHP Longines for $500. How was that not sold? Can you even get those still? I think they're still making those. That's a good. No, the Oscar. It's not a Doxa. It's a Sea-Stern. Basically the same thing. How much was the Norcane? Let me go back. Keith wants $1,500. It's the carbon fiber dial. If you want to get into a Norcane, $1,500, that's a pretty good deal. I don't think you're going to find any cheaper than that. That's a pretty legit deal. There's always good deals on here, guys. You got to join the Discord. You're never going to see these deals if you don't get in here. Second hour, did that sell? Oh, it sold. Yep. Because those are kind of cool. What else is on here? Oh, he sold it. Never mind. I was so tempted to buy this from Stuart. I was so tempted to buy it. I actually have a. Is it still here? Yeah, I think I still have it. I have an automatic Marathon down here. Same kind of watch, but an automatic. I'm very tempted. I can't buy more watches. That Grand Seiko sold. Yeah, things are starting to sell a little bit. What does he want? $600? Fit 550 Manny. I think you need to be about 380 on that. I don't mean to be like nitpicking on your price, but what the hell is that? That is cool looking. Who posted that up? What is that? Oh, I think that's Manny's. He showed me that when I was in California last. That thing is wicked cool. I don't think you can get those anymore. All right, I gotta focus. I'm over here just like shopping in my own Discord. Okay, we'll go back here. Dr. Bob's with a $2 here super chat. Spring bar money. Do I need spring bars? I don't think I need spring bars. You just wanted me to pop up that Michael Tyson or whatever thing again. Let's see. Oscar says, how much is the membership for your site to trade sell watches? Well, it doesn't really work that way, Oscar. You got to email. This glass is empty. You have to email randomrobreviews@gmail.com. It's there's two different tiers, and it depends on what you want to do. It's a donation to the channel, and then it grants you access to the Discord. Let me read some other comments. Rob, I need to rehash the collection, but I'm fearful of selling what I feel I want to keep. Serious thoughts, man. I feel a little deja vu. And Michael, you know where I'm going to go with this. We talked about this a couple of years ago. Guess what? They're just watches. If it's time, it's time. I'm going to go through the same thing. I go through the same thing every year. That's why I'm dreading doing the state of the collection video. I'm pointing over there because that's where the IKEA stack is. And there's probably like 150 watches in there. So yeah, after I do that video, I'm going to do some soul searching, and I'm going to probably sell about, I don't know, 50 or 75 watches, and I'm going to do something different, and it's going to be okay. And then people in another video, people are going to go like, hey, do you miss this? Or do you miss that? And I'm going to go like, I don't, until you just brought it up again, I forgot that I owned it. So Mitch Maddock, you can't just post pictures of the Zao Baltimore Airstream in the Flippers Paradise. You have to at least put a price on it, and then I'll take a picture of that and I'll send it to Alan, and then I'll be like, hey, Mitch is trying to sell your Airstream. Mitch, so go back there and edit your thing and put a price on that. Otherwise, it can't be in Flippers. You have to put a price on it. Oh my God, this is a solid question. Sam's dad says, is the Tudor Black Bay P01 the most disrespected great watch? Legit, I think you're 100%. I feel like I still got to go over this bar. I think that's an absolute accurate statement, or it's a question, but it should be a statement. Just remove the question mark and then remove IS at the beginning of your sentence. Yeah, it is 100%. I think it's a great watch. Let's see. Mike, I'm gonna go for a drive tomorrow. I told you I gotta go do some things. We can talk on the phone. I'll talk you through it. We're gonna sell some watches. The fact that you're already thinking about it means that it's already done. Long Island, where is it at? Long Island John says, I've bought, sold, rebought most of my collection in the past year. Part of the journey. Well, that's, yeah, yeah. Insanity is part of the journey. Do you have the new Hamilton Khaki Field Expedition watch? I do. I have the 41 millimeter variant. Mimo sent it over. It's the black dial variant. He had the white dial, but he said somebody wanted it. So I have the black dial variant. So that's an epically cool watch. I'm probably going to buy it off him just to like tour it or something. Let's see. Did anyone win the? Yeah. I mean, it had to have been Big Bearded Viper. Tuna would have been a second place, no problem. But Big Bearded Viper, he's got like a ZZ Top beard, so like his beard is legit. Craig says, I realized I sold over 40 watches and flippers this last year. I didn't know it was that many, Craig. I know I've bought a couple off you. You're so easy to deal with that you're like a flippers champ. So well done. So the price on the Zal Baltimore Airstream, and I don't think Mitch, like I know this is kind of a joke or whatever. I gotta show this real quick. Let me how do I go back to show this? So the price on the Zal Baltimore Airstream is 5.9 million. And even though Mitch is joking, if somebody like if he's what do you call it? Handling this deal for Alan, I don't think Alan would care. Like even if somebody gave you a 50% offer on that thing, I think Alan would be fine with that. So yeah, 5.9 million. That's the asking price on the Zal Baltimore Airstream. So that's official now. So Alan, you can't back out on that. If somebody offers 5.9 mil, you got to let it go. It's posted up in flippers, so it's a done deal. Yeah, Dr. Bob's Nightmare says I haven't shaved since November of 2020. Kind of just entered into that no shave November thing back in 2020 and just never left. It's you know what? It's a lot easier just not shave. Depending on how much care you give your beard, but like if you just have a beard, it's pretty easy. I would imagine. Craig says he sells a bunch in PM. I tell that to people all the time, man. You can and Canadian Watch Monkey still owns Craig's CWC G22. I'm gonna do a video soon of and yeah, Craig actually has an awesome collection. I didn't realize Craig had all of those watches still in his collection. His like really nice collection box of a few watches is solid, very solid. So if Craig doesn't care, actually I could show you guys real quick because it's over in I don't think Craig cares. I'll show you Craig's collection real quick. We got to go to where's state of the collection. I don't even know how to navigate my own site. There it is. So CB's got some cool Mings and stuff, but Craig just posted his yeah, and some people actually Craig just bought one of those SLAs too, and I know Dane did too. But if we look here, so here's Craig's collection. So he's got yep, load. Okay. So he's got that. This is I believe titanium too. Titanium, Seiko, it's their LX line. Is that what they call it? The GMT spring drive. He's got that new SLA, which is freaking awesome. And then he's got the white dial Breitling event. I'm like jealous of this collection right here. I mean, mostly just these two watches. Well, the top three watches, I would snag all three of those watches. White dial Avenger, GMT. I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't know they made it on white dial. I don't think they still make it though. That's a great pickup. This SLA is awesome. The Zen I don't think that's a regular 556 either. I think what's this little dot here? I don't know what that is. And then he's got a FXD, and then he's got another Breitling down here. So solid collection. Solid collection. Cannot be mad at that at all. Mm. Paul says if you haven't worn it, this Woodford Reserve Double Oaked is so damn good. Big Bearded Viper says if you haven't worn it in 30 days, it needs to be sold. I gotta sell a lot of watches then. Craig said he's sold 5 Nomos this year. 5 Nomos alone. Reading some comments. So you want a U50? No. How many? Craig has high quality. Less is more rotation. Okay, so I actually kind of wanted to talk about that. I want to do a standalone video on that, David. And I thought Craig was doing it a little bit different than he is. He was kind of sneaky on me on this one because I didn't realize he had all of those. But in my mind, I had thought Craig was like buying these watches and like really focusing on that particular watch and then flipping it and moving to the next watch. And there's a certain logic to that. It actually kind of makes sense. Because if I were to like sell 90% of the watches I own, I'd be okay. Life would go on. Would I miss some of them? Maybe, maybe not. But life would go on, and I could then probably buy some pretty cool watches, and maybe buy one at a time, which is what I thought Craig was doing. Okay, so Craig has a rule. He says he doesn't keep more than 8 at a time, and he has 6 in his collection right now. So there's a certain logic behind that, and I can respect that, and I get it. I don't know that I could apply it because the problem is like the 6 watches you have right now, I don't know that there's one of them that I would want to let go to allow another one in. So like, was it 6 and then you got these 6 and then you're like, well, I'll make it 8 because I don't want to get rid of these 6. So now you just increased it. And the next thing you know, you have 150 watches because you just like keep adding on because you keep acquiring watches that you don't want to let go. You know what I'm saying? So that's where it gets a little complicated. What does this mean? It's the missing watches that I'm not dealing with yet. I hate it. Um, if you never give yourself the chance to miss a watch, you'll never miss the watch. Does that make sense? So if you're constantly hunting for the next watch or enjoying, always give yourself a little bit of honeymoon time to enjoy your new watch. Don't stack your purchases so that you end up with like 2, 3, 4 watches all at once. That's a recipe for disaster on itself. You need to, like, when you purchase a watch, you need to allow yourself to enjoy it a little bit. Otherwise, yeah, it just doesn't work. Trust me. All you guys know that already. You still do it. I still do it, but you already know that. So I think that's why I never really miss a watch, is because I always have like 10 more watches right now. Yeah, basically what they said. The next thing you know, you're an anonymous watch guy. Um, I mean, that's probably why anonymous watch guy and I like. I mean, we don't like hang out and we don't talk a bunch of stuff like that. But I think we kind of connect at that level because literally, I just got a new pair of shoes in. I just went on like a shoe buying binge, and one of them was a pair of Adidas Grinch shoes. I think it was just like a limited drop. And anonymous watch guy is big into Grinch. You know, the Grinch that stole Christmas, the character, the cartoon character. He's seen those and he instantly went and bought a pair. So he's like, it's like that impulsive purchasing, whatever problem that we have. Um, So you have a newish camera set up. What's that? What is this? So you got a newish camera set up. What's that looking like? I don't know what you're referring to. I have all the same old cameras that I've had. I'm just like slowly maybe learning how to use them. Larry C chiming in. Super. We were Larry. I've been at this for an hour and 50 minutes. I was just kind of waiting for you to chime in, brother. Thanks for joining us. See, Paul says, I really like the new Citizen GMT. Have you had a chance to review it? No. I don't even know where I would get that. You know what? Saltzman's might be able to get that to me. I'll have to check. See, Canadian says, the one watch I was extremely impressed with its build quality is the Damasco. I love Damasco. I don't own one right now, but the DS30, the Submariner steel, is so smooth. The crown action is perfection. 100% agree with you on that. Absolutely love that brand. Shockingly, I don't own one. I think it's almost like too good and maybe a little boring, and they don't make a white dial or orange dial that I'm going to want. So Dr. Bob says, you need a room just for watches you like, but will never wear. I mean, there's nothing wrong with collecting like that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with collecting like that. I know many people that do. I mean, all these watches behind me, like I don't wear any of those. You know, I just like the way they look or whatever. And then there's a few more over there. Like it's just, I mean, I don't use that wooden thing hand that I bought from IKEA other than it has a middle finger pointing up. Like, what's the purpose of having that? I mean, if you end up only owning things that logically make sense to own, then you wouldn't own hardly anything. So, you know, I got a bunch of coffee mugs over here and stuff, a Breitling one, a Random Rob one. There's a anonymous watch guy one over there. I think there's a Bobby Legs one and stuff like that. I don't use any of those. They're just sitting there. So, you know, you got to be careful with like implementing too much logic into your life when it comes to material possessions, but you need to also like just live and relax a little bit. Floridian says he started watching those restoration videos. They make them with the watches, and those are like extremely, I don't know why, like therapeutic to watch, to like watch the process. But there's guys out there. YouTube is so great because you can watch literally like, you know, cars, motorcycles, watches. They do it with everything. It's so cool. That Random Rob Tubler was meant to be. Yeah, so there's, you know, I got one there, and I think behind the microphone there's another one over there. I think somewhere. I don't know where it's at. Maybe back over there somewhere. I don't know. But yeah, thanks for that, Nate Dog. I appreciate it. I mean, like you gave that to me, and I have it, but like maybe I'll use it, maybe I won't. I don't know. But I have it, and it's freaking cool, and I'm gonna keep it. So let's see. Mitch Mack says, watches, Hot Wheels, what's the difference? Oh my God. I used to have so many Hot Wheels. Before the house fire, I probably had, I don't know, a couple thousand Hot Wheels. Canadian says, man, you made such a great point about not having to use what you got. Sometimes I'll pull out my watches and just look at them. They make me happy. Just because a watch is meant to be worn and it's meant to tell time doesn't mean that that's how you're going to use it. So, and that's like a non-watch person is not going to understand the logic behind that. Hello, Michael. Let's see. Al Mac says, do you like IWC pilot watches? I like them in the sense that I like looking at them. I don't want to own one though. No. Paul says, does John Wick have an iconic watch like a 007 or Indiana Jones? Is there a watch in the John Wick movie? I think there is. Is there not? What would John Wick wear? He does like nice things. I don't know what he would wear. It wouldn't be an obvious baller piece. It'd be a under the radar baller piece. I don't know what it would be. And yeah, I mean it could be an IWC, but he's not a pilot. IWC is a pilot watch kind of thing. I don't know. It wouldn't be an IWC. It'd be something more under the radar. That doesn't make sense that it's super expensive, but it is. Yeah. What time is it? Oh my God, it's almost 11 o'clock. Is there any last minute questions, guys? I got to wrap this up. I still have to, I don't have anything else to do, but I do need to sleep. At some point, I need to sleep. Any last minute questions before I go? Because we're almost 2 hours into this live stream. That makes sense. Dr. Bob, that actually makes sense. Vacheron Constantine. That's probably what John Wick. Oh, okay. But that's not what he wore. Apparently, Todd is saying John Wick wore Carl F. Buchner. Is that right? Booker? Yeah. That also makes sense. That's kind of under the radar. That's not something you ever really see or hear. Yeah. The time difference is going to mess me up a little bit, but because I get up early. So I go to bed late and I get up early. That's people are like, how do you do so many videos? How do you do so much work and blah blah blah? Because I don't sleep. I sleep less. Keep going till you pass out on camera. I won't pass out. I'll literally stay up all night. I will keep sipping on bourbon and I will stay up all night. But I'm not going to do that because then I have to recover tomorrow. So I guess I'll say thank you all. A JLC would make sense too. Sleep is cousin's death. Correct. Thank you all for joining. I appreciate it. Hanging out. Hopefully some of you guys had there's that happens down here. There's beeping. That means it's 11 or something. I don't know. I can't stop. I don't know which one it is. Mitch Maddock, real quick. Any takers on the Airstream? 5.9 mil. Anybody? No? Nobody? Okay. James Duffy, thanks for joining. I'm going to see you soon, brother. Hopefully you're going to make it up to Long Beach. It's less than a month now. That will wake you up. It doesn't. This room is like soundproofed. I really did a good job sound deadening this room. So like any noise that happens in here really isn't transmitted through the rest of the house. So let's see. My Casio goes off at 12. Also, I'm gonna leave you with this, and I'm gonna go. Okay. Anytime you're selling a G-Shock or a digital watch or anything like that, maybe you learned how to set the alarm. Maybe you didn't learn how to set the alarm. But when you sell it, learn how to set the alarm real quick. Set it for like 2 a.m. Okay. Just set it for 2 a.m. The new owner's going to love it. They're going to appreciate it. And you know what? A lot of these have like 5 alarms. Go ahead and set all 5 alarms at random times. Just go ahead and do that. And really, you're doing them a favor because you're forcing them to get more intimate with the watch and learn how to do the alarm adjustments themselves. I don't even know how to do it, but if you ever buy a digital watch from me, I'm going to go ahead and figure that out. And yeah, I'll set those alarms for you. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next video.